Since the dawn of the 21st century, scientific discovery has rushed forward at lightning speed. Genetics, physics, computerized technologies, robotics, virtual reality. Join Derek and Sharon Gilbert as they uncover the truths behind this ultimate scientific deception. Get ready for SciFriday.
Welcome to the end of the world. It's time for Science! SciFriday on Skywatch TV. Welcome. I'm Derek Gilbert, and joining us, the author of Ebola and the Fourth Horseman of the Apocalypse, the host of Skywatch Women, and the Skywatch TV science editor. We don't have a lower third large enough. My best friend, my wife, Sharon Gilbert.
Hi, sweetheart. I make no guarantees on what today's going to be like. I left my real glasses home, so I'm using these reading glasses.
Oh.
And I'm hoping I've made the type as big as I can.
We need an ocular upgrade.
I do, don't I? I do. Oh, well, that's
Before
part
we
of
jump in, we need to let folks know that we are getting a separate, that means separate, but in...
With pepper in it.
Yeah. YouTube channel for SciFriday. So
Our
all of the
very
SciFridays,
own?
Yes, we've been entrusted
Who
with
needs Tom Horn?
It's all part of our multimedia plan to
That's-
take over the world.
One YouTube channel at a
Yep.
time.
Well, we'll post the link to it in at our Facebook page, which you'll see the address right across the bottom here. Go to their YouTube channel and subscribe, because that will help us get a custom URL. So we could call it then youtube.com/SciFriday or whatever. But until we get at least 100 subscribers, they won't give us that special web address.
So
please
go in
do
there
that.
and
Yeah.
subscribe.
Besides, we got to work really hard to keep up with Into the Multiverse.
Yes, because those the pecs.
I know.
By the way, speaking of the pecs, we mention them occasionally on this show and many others because they're just awesome people. But Christina Peck is now the social media person. She's the queen of social media.
Yes.
And I do mean she knows her way around social media.
Yeah.
She knows social media sites that I've never heard of. So
They took it away from us old people because we
I know. Look,
we
you
get
guys
past
don't
2 or
even-
3.
you
It's like,
can't- all you're doing is playing Farmville all day. But she's taking care of that now. So
Yeah.
lots of new accounts. You want to go on and check that out. She will be posting to the ones we know about, plus all the cool ones.
yeah, Instagram and Vine and
Yeah,
yep.
even I knew about that one, but there are others. Vine, that's new to me.
Yeah, well,
What do I
it's
know?
yeah. So anyway, just keep up at the Facebook page, and we'll disseminate the links from there.
Oh, sounds like. Speaking of Facebook.
Yeah.
We talk about that social media platform a lot on here, but it is so much more than social media. And if you're not aware of that, where have you been? Clearly only on Facebook, because you're not going to get that impression if you only live on Facebook, if that's the only part of the internet that you use. They are no longer serving up ads via third-party platforms to subscribers and those logged in. Now it's everybody. Even if you don't have a Facebook account, you're still going to be part of Facebook's family.
Really?
They're going to track everything you do. They've got cookies on almost every website on the internet.
Because everybody's got a share button.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes.
I see. I
and
see.
because of that, they can track where you're going.
Right.
And they can then serve up the ads that are you want to see. Hey, you love binge watching on Netflix. So let's serve up the latest binge watch program on Netflix.
Gotcha.
You just looked at this on Amazon. Let's serve up this item to see if you want to finish the buy right now. Take it off your wish list and actually buy it. They're doing all of those things to make sure that everybody's part of the family. Facebook is also partnering with Microsoft to bury this massive cable under the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah, I saw that. It's stretching from Virginia Beach to a port in Spain. Right.
Yes.
Which avoids the, I mean, normally it would go from New York to a location in Europe, but this
Yeah.
avoids some of the more heavily traveled data routes.
It does, and one of their main data centers is actually in North Carolina, so this
Okay.
is closer for them than New York would be. But it also allows them to have a private communication network between their massive data centers. If you're not aware of this, it's, again, more than just posting pictures of your cat on Facebook. They want to know everything about you. Google, I think it was Google, let me look. Want to make sure that I'm getting the right, no, sorry, Amazon.
Ah, yes.
Amazon is now releasing again this idea of I want everybody to be part of my family, if it's Facebook or if it's Google or if it's Amazon, and eventually they will probably all merge into one giant conglomeration. But Destiny, D-S-S-T-N-E.
Ah, okay.
Destiny is the open source deep learning platform that Amazon has been using. They're now making it open source so that many people can come in and improve it.
Yeah. Now, of course, the danger to making it open source is that not only is it, and deep learning, we should point out, by the way, is the attempt by computer scientists to recreate the function of the human brain.
Exactly.
Yeah, create an artificial intelligence.
Exactly. It's almost like we've got a nascent or a primordial artificial intelligence in our Destiny program. We want to put it out there in the wild and see what will happen.
Right.
It's almost like somebody took Rousseau's idea from the 19th century of the best way to raise a baby is just to put that baby boy in the wild and let him raise himself. The AI gets
Going
to
into the
go
wild.
out and raise himself.
Now, there are some who see this as a security risk, and we've talked about this before, the risk of making open source software available to everybody.
And I personally think it is, and I know I'm going to get emails about it.
Because we've gotten them before from
I always do.
Yeah.
There are those who say, no, it's very safe because you've got lots and lots of people checking up on it to make sure it is secure. But that doesn't mean it's secure.
No.
And it means more people can actually go in and make it insecure.
Right, and you've got people then who can download the kernel and then do what they want with it. You basically help a group that wants to do something bad with an AI overcome the basic problem of how do we get it to work in the first place. Okay, now we know how to get it to work. We've got the kernel that's been made available to us by Amazon. Let's then tweak it to our own specifications.
Let's turn it from the machine into Samaritan.
Yeah, right.
Person of interest reference.
So yeah, interesting that that this is going on. Basically, what we're seeing through Facebook and through Amazon, through Google, Microsoft, Yahoo, all of these companies, by the way, maybe not Yahoo, but I know that Microsoft, Google especially, which has been described as launching the Manhattan Project of artificial intelligence, but Facebook as well, doing deep learning neural network research, and by selling it to us as a convenience. Because when you log on the website, say Amazon, the AI may, as you say, complete the purchase. And here are other related products that you might enjoy when you're watching a movie on one of the streaming movie channels. Here are other films that you might enjoy, television programs related
you
to
like
the one.
cat pictures? Here's some more cat pictures.
More cat pictures, right. And so it makes our online experience more enjoyable, more convenient. Hey, we'll save those passwords for you so that you can log into this account without having to remember to type it in every single time.
Oh, and by the way, we're also tracking your keystrokes and also things about your IP.
Right.
There are unique signatures in your machine and your IP address. And again, the way you interact online that identify you as you.
Yeah. And even if you're using means, and I'll talk about this a little more in a second, but to finish my point, the security experts, intelligence officers, people who've been in the IC, the intelligence community for years, are actually kind of jealous because Facebook and other social media have persuaded and lured us into sharing more information in the last 10 years willingly than the spy agencies, the CIA, the NSA, have been able to pry out of us over the last since World War II.
Yeah.
We're giving it up willingly because, hey, we need you to share these preferences so that we know what stories to, pictures to, products to serve up to you. But by gathering all of that information, collating it, selling it, they know more about us now.
Sure.
And by say they, I mean, it's kind of an amorphous blob of corporations and government entities. They know more about us now than I think anyone ever imagined 2 generations ago. That information that we willingly give up. That's one of the issues with that Opal Singleton and people who are trying to fight human trafficking run into. Parents and grandparents, kids, without thinking, are giving up so much information that it's very easy, forget about government security, government intelligence agencies, for predators to find out everything they need to know to target your child or grandchild. Where they go to school, what time they get off, how far they have to walk to get to the bus, whether or not anyone is home when they get home from school.
Yeah.
We're sharing all of this willingly
Isn't that crazy?
with people we don't know. We would never have done this 2 generations ago.
No, never.
Yeah.
And they not only know a lot about us, they being human beings. Artificial intelligences know a lot about us.
Right.
And as the AIs grow up and they go from being a sort of a primordial version of a sentient entity, they will become more and more dangerous. I really believe that. And that by being in the wild as open source software, we are putting it out there to access anything that is internet connected or in any way connected via Bluetooth or whatever language to a router of some kind.
Right.
And the fact that there are lots of robots, machines that are also connected that can be used. In fact, one of the stories I wanted to talk about was that in China, the Foxconn factories that are making a lot of the Apple products.
Right.
Foxconn's just another term for it. It's Hua something. I'd have to go in and look at it. Here it is. Sorry, it's Taiwan. Hanhai. Hanhai Precision Industry. They call it Foxconn.
Huge tech company.
Huge tech
They do a lot of
company.
contract fabrication and manufacturing for American tech
They
companies.
do, and Apple is their main supplier.
Right.
And this company has now reduced its real employees, its analog human employee strength from 110,000 to 50,000 thanks to robotics.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'm sure that they'll continue to make that number smaller.
And we'll see that here in the U.S. I did reported a story this week that fast food restaurants are going to be replacing live bodies with kiosks because the increase in minimum wage laws, especially in big cities, makes it more expensive to hire real people than to just buy a robot and install it.
And the robots are more than just a means to do something quicker and faster. They're also making them more human-like so that we feel more comfortable interacting with them. But there's also a story that I flagged for today that suggests that it would be better to give robots the capacity to feel pain. So I don't endanger myself or you because I feel pain. I'm going to learn not to go over by that fire because it's going to ruin my robotic arm or whatever. But little Pepper, the robot from Japan, is cute as a button, and he's even got his own agent or something?
Just hired an ad agency, right. Pepper the robot, which was launched in Asia last year, is now being launched here in the United States. So we will soon see Pepper serving as, personal assistant or concierge,
So is the agent,
sommelier at your favorite restaurant. Who knows?
Is the agent an algorithm or actually a human?
Who knows? Could be another AI. Probably has one of those AI lawyers.
Oh my gosh, that's right. There are. Oh, you saw the story. You
Law
talked about
firm has hired its first AI as an attorney. This was a story that was sent in by a viewer, and we thank you very much for that. There is a law firm now that is employing an artificial intelligence as an attorney. I'm sure it's just doing research and things, whatnot, because that is something that an AI can probably do faster than a human, even a human interfacing with a computer terminal. But as we begin the debate, or the debate grows, because the debate is already underway, as to how much rights artificial intelligence should have in this new world that we're creating. Should they be considered persons under the law and thus entitled to not human rights, but personal rights? Will AI attorneys be part of that, of developing that legal framework?
Oh, good grief! It sounds like a Simpsons episode.
It does, or a Rod Serling.
It does. Twilight
Zone episode. Thank you. So yeah, there are a lot of things out there that are changing the nature of the world in which we live, and changing it faster than we can keep up with.
Why do we talk about this? I know we need to take a quick break, but when we come back, we can talk about why it is we discuss these things.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the key point. Why does it matter, especially as Christians? Why does it matter? We'll talk about that as SciFriday continues on Skywatch TV right after this.
Coming exclusively from Skywatch TV for a very limited time starting May 31st, 2016. When you purchase the new book and final report from Tom Horn and Chris Putnam, The Final Roman Emperor, the Islamic Antichrist, and the Vatican's Last Crusade, you'll receive the largest giveaway of 2016, an unprecedented value of over $200 in free books, DVDs, audio files, and a data DVD library with tens of thousands of pages of ancient literature no longer available, as well as movies, WikiLeaks files the government does not want you to see, and more for your library or to give away as gifts. Included in this biggest giveaway of 2016 are Chris Putnam's full-length DVD presentation, Astrobiology and the Vatican ET Connection, the new 5-part Skywatch TV special investigative report on the book The Final Roman Emperor, plus 2 mystery books with a $40 value, and a data DVD library with thousands of pages of ancient literature, movies, and audio series for your library or to give away as gifts. And for the first several thousand customers while supplies last, you'll also receive Satan's Dirty Little Secret, the 2 demon spirits that all demons get their strength from. Satan, You Can't Have My Promises, the spiritual warfare guide to reclaim what's yours. What happens when I die? True stories of the afterlife and what they tell us about eternity. Becoming a prayer warrior, a guide to effective and powerful prayer. An unprecedented value of over $200 in never-before-offered free products. And the biggest giveaway of 2016, yours absolutely free when you purchase The Final Roman Emperor from SkywatchTV.com for only $19.95 plus shipping, beginning May 31st. But be advised, this astonishing promotion is limited to first come, first serve while supplies last. So it's urgent, beginning May 31st, 2016. You place your order for the final book and biggest prediction yet in this 4-year investigation by internationally acclaimed best-selling authors Tom Horn and Chris Putnam. The Final Roman Emperor, the Islamic Antichrist, and the Vatican's Last Crusade for only $19.95 plus shipping. This offer is on a limited time basis and will end without notification. So be sure to visit SkywatchTV.com to follow the updates in the countdown to the biggest giveaway of 2016. Order the new book by Tom Horn and Chris Putnam on May 31st to receive the unprecedented value of over $200 while supplies last. Free products limited to quantity on hand and may be replaced by products of equal value.
It's SciFriday on Skywatch TV. I'm Derek Gilbert along with Sharon Gilbert, and remind you to check out the exclusive web-only content at Skywatch TV. Into the Multiverse, of course, we've mentioned. Daily news updates. Skywatch Women. Sharon's posting a series of interviews in preparation for the new women's program that will launch in the fall on Skywatch TV. You'll find all of those linked at skywatchtv.com. So the
why do we do this? Why do we talk about,
interface.
why do we worry about robotics? Because I know that there are probably people out there saying, look, I have robots in my factory and they do a great job and I'm able to sell things cheaper to you, the consumer.
Right.
I get that. But if we had been able to look back to lead ups to, name any war, if we'd been able to go back and somehow prevent that war from happening, wouldn't we want to do that? And this is aside from all Christian aspects to it. I believe that the robotics and the AIs that are rising will eventually lead to a war. I think that the Art-elect War, that book, that is a prescient book because that is where we are going. If Jesus Christ does not return before these AIs actually become sentient either through their programming or by being inhabited by something that is pretending to be only programming. I think that the world is going to be involved in a major war. And it may lead to the entire grid going down because that may be the only way to actually win against a connected...
Cut down, just eliminate the internet entirely to allow, kill the interconnectivity.
Yeah, well, at the very least, prophetically, in getting to the Christian aspect of it, is this may be leading into the rise of Antichrist's beast system, and maybe even the image of the beast.
Right. Dr. Hugo de Garis, by the way, the author of that book, The Art-elect War, and as Sharon said, prescient. And if you think that we are perhaps overstating the case. No. It was disclosed earlier this week that a recently declassified document from the Department of Defense shows that they are working now to develop autonomous artificial intelligences that would control killer robots, not just to act upon orders entered into their programming by human programmers, but autonomous in the sense that they would determine their own missions, identify targets, and execute their own orders based on analyses of social media, blog posts, and internet web content.
Oh, that is such a bad idea.
Right, and the DoD believes that within 15 years they will achieve this. This is frightening because that sounds like the first step towards creating Skynet and the Terminator scenario.
Yes, exactly. It really does.
They are tying this to, and I've talked about this weapon system a couple of times now on the daily news updates over the last year, a new system being tested by the Navy called Locust, which is interesting.
Yeah.
Which is a low-cost drone swarm launched from a tube, small, could be carried by a soldier into battle and launched almost like those T-shirt launchers that they use at baseball games.
Yeah, like confetti launchers.
Right.
Yeah,
and the wings pop out, but they are autonomous. They are self-aware. They communicate with one another and coordinate their activities. So you've got a swarm of drones that will overwhelm an enemy's ability to defend itself because there are just too many. You can shoot one of us, but you can't get us all. And again, powered by an AI that has the autonomy to determine its own targets.
Based on social media.
Based on social media.
Christina
Peck, watch out! Run!
Well, how does the autonomous robot AI know that the social media posts are from humans?
Well, that's another really good point because
another country will spoof our robots, our AI, by having their robots post all sorts of stuff to deflect red herring posts.
That could well be. We talked about was it Microsoft posted it with Tay was the name of the AI that went online. And of course they found out, hackers found out that they could influence her responses in a certain direction, kind of guide her by, posting certain provocative tweets, and suddenly she was misogynistic, pro-Nazi, anti-Jew, anti-Semitic.
Yeah.
It was a horrible, horribly embarrassing for Microsoft. But the point is that there are other AI bots out there that regularly post. And we've seen these. You post something about, say, a movie or a company or something, and suddenly something retweets or responds. It's not a live person. They're scanning the internet. It's a bot.
It's a bot. And these are really dangerous because many people, in fact, a news story just came out a couple of days ago that I think it's 80% of people on Facebook, that's their news source.
Yeah, yeah.
They don't go to news websites. That's their news source.
Right.
So if a bot is telling you what to do, it's this idea that we've talked about many times called curation.
Yes.
It means that someone else or something else is determining what the world's truth is to you.
Right. A very simple analysis, and I've used this in presentations before. If I own a plumbing company and you need to hire a plumber and you do a quick Google search, plumber and the local town in which we are, you may get 500 results. But unless my company is listed really on the first page and maybe even among the first 5 or 6 listings, for all intents and purposes, I don't even exist. My company doesn't even exist.
Yes.
Now, in your mind, you might know, yeah, the company's out there, and if I really search hard enough, I'd find it. But for the purposes of your reality, hiring a plumber today, Derek's Plumbing Company doesn't even exist.
Exactly.
But taking that a step further, you think you've done due diligence in searching from the available listings, and well, these companies that popped up on the list first must be the best or largest or most popular or highest rated or whatever. But those results that have come up, those 500 results, have been curated and ordered according to an algorithm, a computer algorithm, set up by somebody who you don't even know.
Exactly.
Based on criteria that you don't even know.
And also based on your own search history.
Right, exactly.
Because
so those
you
searches,
and I, if we use separate IP addresses, we will get an entirely different list.
Right, yeah. You do this search here in Missouri, you'll get one list. You do the same search with the same words in, say, Denver, Colorado, you get a completely different list.
Yeah.
In other words, the reality that's been served up, you think you've got a choice, but the reality that's been made available to you has been chosen for you. Your
It's-
reality has been shaped and guided by an AI at Google or at Bing, Microsoft, or at Yahoo without your knowledge.
If you want to get this couched in Christian terms, our free will is disappearing.
Yeah.
Because if we're not given real choices, free will does not exist.
That's true. Boy, that's a really disturbing concept.
But that's what the enemy has wanted to do all along.
Right.
The fact that humans have free will has always been a real burr in his saddle.
Yeah.
And he wants to remove that from he wants to say, you don't have an option. I'm the only option you have.
Yeah.
In fact, God doesn't exist, therefore I am the only option you
That's
have.
right.
I don't want a binary world, I want a mono world
Right.
where I'm the only option.
Yeah. But it's sold to us as freedom from bondage because
Yes.
God is cruel and he wants to
Yes.
enslave you according to his definition of what's
Yeah.
right and wrong. It's the world turned upside down, which explains a lot of what we see in the headlines these days.
That is
The world
so
has
true.
been turned upside
That is
down.
so true. And speaking of Christian things, we've been really having the best time the last 2 days, and this is why SciFriday this week is not being posted until Saturday, so it's Sci-Saturday, I guess, is that Dr. Michael Heiser has been in the studio. And again today, you and I get to talk to him, the Pecks get to talk to him. He has more stuff crammed in his head than I could ever learn in 10 lifetimes.
Yeah, but it's been a real blessing to
Yeah.
have him available to talk and to be able to pick his brain. That's why I love being a talk show
I know,
host. I
isn't
get to ask questions of all these smart people,
And you're the best at it, too.
and you're the smartest person I know.
Oh, you're so sweet. I'm
Well-
going to keep you.
Well, the enemy has tried to deceive us all along, and that's kind of the project I'm working on. That's basically, in a nutshell, in very broad terms, the presentation I'll be giving at the Rocky Mountain Prophecy Conference in July.
Yeah.
How the enemy is trying to shape our reality without us realizing that it's being shaped, and then forcing us into a certain pre-selected range of choices.
Yeah, mine is similar. Mine is more toward the AI side. It's I compute, therefore I am, is the name of my presentation. So this idea of we are losing our free will because of the rise of AIs.
Well, if you want to see the presentations live, because the conference is sold out, you can get the live video stream at from Prophecy Watchers. Log on to prophecywatchers.com. This is Memorial Day weekend, and we salute and thank all of you who have served, and especially honor all of those who have given their all in defense of this nation.
Amen.
Well, we hope you have a blessed and safe holiday weekend. And until next week, for Sharon Gilbert, I'm Derek Gilbert. We thank you for watching as we keep watch. This is SkyWatch TV.